Hello, 21st October is the birth anniversary of Alfred Nobel. Alfred Nobel was the Swedish chemist, engineer, inventor, businessman, and philanthropist. He is known for creating dynamite as well as having a planning for his fortune to establish the Nobel Prize after his death. Nobel displayed an early aptitude for science and learning, particularly in chemistry and languages. He was later inspired to donate the fortune to the Nobel Prize institution, which would annually recognize those who conferred the greatest benefit to the humankind. A synthetic element nobelium was named after him. Alfred Nobel was born on the day 21st October in the year 1833 in Stockholm, United Kingdoms of Sweden and Norway. The family was with the mother, father, and two brothers, and Alfred Nobel. Alfred Nobel's interest in the technology was inherited from his father, alumnus of Royal Institute of Technology in the Stockholm. Business failure situation made Nobel family to move to St. Petersburg, Russia. Nobel's father established there as a successful manufacturer of the machine tools and explosives. Nobel's father invented the failure lathe. This lathe made possible the production of modern plywood. Nobel's father started work on the torpedo, and in the year 1842, the family joined Alfred Nobel in the city. Now, the prosperous his parents were able to send Nobel to private tutors, and the boy excelled in his studies, particularly in the chemistry and languages, achieving the fluency in the English, French, German, and Russian. For 18 months, Nobel went to the school he ever attended as a child in Stockholm. With reference to religion, Nobel was the Lutheran and regularly attended the Church of Sweden abroad during the Paris year, led by Pastor Nathan, who received the Nobel Prize in the Peace in the year 1930. He was agnostic in the youth and became atheist later in the life, though he still donated generously to the church. Nobel traveled for much of his business life, maintaining companies in the Europe, America, while keeping a home in Paris in the year 1873 to the year 1891. He remained a solitary character, given to periods of the depressions. With reference to residences in the years 1865 to the year 1873, Alfred Nobel has his home in the Krunel, Hamsburg. He afterward moved to the house in the Avenue of Melkoff in the Paris that same year. In the year 1894, when acquired Beaufort's Gerstong Manor was included, he stayed at his manor house in the Sweden during the summers. The manor house became his very last residence in the Sweden and has after his death functioned as a museum. Alfred Nobel died in the year 1896 in San Remo, Italy, at his very last residence, Villa Nobel, overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. As a young man, Nobel studied with the chemist Nikolai Zinin. Then, in the year 1850, went to the Paris to work further. There he met Asenio Soberio, who had invented nitroglycerin there 3 years before. Soberio strongly opposed the use of nitroglycerin because it was unpredictable exploding when subjected to the variable heat of the pressure. But Nobel became interested in finding a way to control and use of nitroglycerin as a commercially usable explosive. It had much more power than the gunpowder. The family factory produced armaments for the Crimean War but had difficulty switching back to regular domestic production. Then the fighting ended and they filed for the bankruptcy. In the year 1859, Nobel's father left his factory in the care of second son Ludwig Nobel. Nobel and his parents returned to Sweden from Russia, and Nobel devoted himself to study on the explosives and especially to the safe manufacture of use of nitroglycerin. Nobel invented a detonator in the year 1863 and in 1865 designed the blasting cap. On the day of 3rd September 1864, a shed used for preparation of nitroglycerin exploded at the factory in the Stockholm, Sweden, killing 5 people, including Nobel's younger brother, that is the Emil. Faced by the accident, Nobel founded the company or the industry for the nitroglycerin so that he could continue to work in a more isolated area. Nobel invented dynamite in the year 1867, a substance easier and safer to handle than the more unstable nitroglycerin. Dynamite was patented in US and the UK and was used extensively in mining and building the transport networks internationally. In the year 1875, Nobel invented gelignite, more stable and powerful than the dynamite, and in the year 1887, patented ballistite, predecessor of the cordite. Nobel was elected as a member of Royal Swedish Academy of the Sciences in the year 1884, the same institution that would later select the laureates for the 2 Nobel Prizes. He received an honorary doctorate degree from Uppsala University in the year 1893. Nobel's brother Ludwig and Robert founded the oil company and become hugely rich in their own right. Nobel invested in these and amassed a great wealth through the development of these new oil regions or the places. It operated mainly in the Baku and Azerbaijan, but also in Chelekan and Turkmenistan. During his life, Nobel was issued 355 patents internationally, and by his death, his business had established more than 90 armaments factories, despite his apparently pacifist character. There is a well-known story about the origin of Nobel Prize, although historians have been unable to verify it. Had some dismissed the story as a myth. In practical sense, there was the death of Ludwig Nobel on the day 12th April of the year 1888. Most of the newspapers treated this incident wrongly, and messages of rest in the peace to the soul of Alfred Nobel were printed. One French newspaper condemned Alfred Nobel for his invention of military explosives. In many versions, the story dynamite is quoted, although this was mainly used for civilian applications. And this is said to have brought about his decision to leave a better legacy after his death. The obituary stated that the merchant of death is dead and went on the stay. Dr. Nobel, who became rich by finding ways to kill more people faster than ever before, died yesterday. Nobel read the obituary and was appalled at the idea that he would remembered for this way or in this way. His decision to posthumously donate majority of his wealth to found Nobel Prize has been credited to him wanting to leave behind a better legacy. However, it has been questioned whether or not the obituary in the question actually existed. On the day 27th November 1895, at Swedish Norwegian Club in the Paris, Nobel signed his last will and testaments and set aside the bulk of his estate, established the Nobel Prizes to be awarded annually without distinction of nationality. After the taxes and bequests of the individuals, Nobel's will allocated 94% of his total assets. Near about 30 31 crore 22 lakhs of Swedish kroner to establish the five Nobel Prizes. The first three Nobel Prizes are awarded for the eminence and eminence in the physical sciences, in chemistry, and in medical sciences or physiology. The fourth is for literary work in ideal direction, and the fifth prize is to be given to the person who society that renders the greatest services to the cause of international fraternity in the suppression of reduction of standing armies or the establishment of uh, further of the peace congresses. The formulation for the literary prize being given to the work in ideal direction is a cryptic and has caused much confusion. For many years, the Swedish Academy interpreted ideal as idealistic and used it as a reason not to give the prize to important but less romantic authors such as Henrik Ibsen, Leo Tolstoy, likewise. This interpretation has since been revised and the prize has been awarded to, for example, Dario Fo and Jose Saramago, who do not belong to the camp of literary idealism. There was a room for interpretation by bodies he had named after deciding on the physical sciences and chemistry prizes given that he had not consulted them before making the will. In his one-page testament, he stipulated that the money go to discoveries or the inventions in the physical sciences and to discoveries or improvements in the chemistry. He had opened the doors to the technological awards but had not left instructions on how to ideal with distinction between science and technology. Since the deciding bodies he had made chosen were more concerned with the former. The prizes went to the scientists more often than the engineer, technicians, or other inventors. Sweden's central bank swearings celebrated its 300th anniversary in the year 1968 by donating large sum of money to the Nobel Foundation to be used to set up the sixth prize in the field of economics in the honor of Alfred Nobel. In the year 2001, Alfred Nobel greatest great nephew Peter Nobel asked the Bank of Sweden to differentiate its award to economists given in Alfred Nobel's memory from the five other awards. This request added to the controversy over whether the Bank of Sweden Prize in Economics Sciences in the memory of Alfred Nobel is actually legitimate Nobel Prize. On the day 10th December 1896, Nobel suffered a stroke and was partially paralyzed. To fear he could speak only his native tongue. Nobel was surrounded by his paid servants at the time of his death who didn't speak his native tongue. So he wrote how sad it is to be without a friend who could whisper a consoling word and would one day gently close one's eyes. He had left most of his wealth in trust un, unknown to his family in order to fund the Nobel Prize afterwards. He is buried in the Nora in the Stockholm. The monument to the Alfred Nobel in the St. Petersburg is located along Bolshoi Nevaka River. It was dedicated in the year 1991 to mark 90th anniversary of the first Nobel Prize presentation. Nobelium is synthetic element with symbol No and atomic number 102. It is named in the honor of Alfred Nobel, the inventor of dynamite and benefactor of the science. As an inventor and a man of business, Alfred Nobel was both determined and confident. On personal level, however, he was the modest. He has been described as lonely and restless, who never wanted or had opportunity to found a family of his own. He could be tough and cynical in his business dealing and was his own words at the same time both misanthrope and super idealist. He loved literature, had written poem and a play in earlier years, and built up a large book collection. It took Alfred Nobel several years to complete the drawing up of his will. The final version, dated 27th November 1895, laid down that the bulk of his immense fortune should be reserved for a fund for the financing of annual honorary awards to be made in the field of physics, chemistry, medicine, or physiology, literature, and the peace. This is the list of few references. Thank you for participation in the celebration of birth anniversary of Alfred Nobel. Thank you.